Well, happy Friday morning to everyone. Trucker Todd here. Hope everyone had a great holiday. As you guys know, I've been home for roughly 2.5 weeks now. My truck's in the shop. Worked out good. Got to be home for Thanksgiving. Got to spend some time with family and get some things done around the house. But during this time, I've had some time to reflect, and I feel like I might have misinformed or misled inadvertently some of you guys. So the goal of this channel is to never mislead or misinform, and I'm going to do my best to clear some things up, some misconceptions, and maybe some things that people have unintentionally got from my videos. So without any further ado, I want to jump into that. But before we do, I want to make sure that you guys are still subscribed to this channel. I know YouTube unsubscribed some people. I know sometimes it'll delete your comments when you leave me a comment below. And I also want to ask you guys, give me a thumbs up and share this video on your social media platforms. Also, for other ways you could help the channel, and I'd really appreciate it right now while my truck's in the shop, look down in the description below. There's a lot of great information there. I had some time to go back and look this week at the Mudflap app, and it's amazing how much you guys are saving on fuel out there. So I hope you'll look down in the description below for other ways you can help the channel and the channel can help you. But with all that said, let's jump into today's video. I'm going to cue up the music now. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Okay, we're back. The first thing I want to say about people being misled, it was never intentional, and I'm sure that all of you weren't misled, but clearly some people didn't get the points I was trying to make in a few of my videos. Recently, I did a video where I showed my income for October, and for those that didn't see that video, my take home after everything, all the deductions, was roughly just shy of $11,000, and that was being in the shop for or at home for a week during that time. So it was really for 3 weeks worth of work. Now, from that, a lot of things came out of that. First of all, some people assumed that was my income every month, which is not true. Some months I make more than that. Some months, like this month, where my truck's in the shop, I'm going to make substantially less than that. It may be 20 or 30% of that 11,000. Or at least half. So my income is not always that. Sometimes it's better. It just depends how the month goes. And if you're thinking about starting any business, forget trucking for a minute. Being a lease purchase, buying a truck, starting a restaurant, starting a construction company, anything, you're going to have good months and bad months. And you have to be prepared for that. So if you're thinking it's going to be like being a company driver, where your pay is going to be about the same every week in a lot of cases, especially if you're on a dedicated run, that's not the case. You're going to go home. You're going to take time off. Your truck's going to break down. And another thing you've got to think about when you're going to start your own business, again, whatever it is. You know, as a kid, my parents were self-employed for the vast majority of my childhood. My dad was a pretty successful farmer. My mom started a crafts business, and both of those businesses ultimately failed. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Some of that is market influenced. I mean, there's just a ton of reasons. We're not really doing this video about that. But what you need to know is that whatever business you start, the national average, 45% of all businesses fail within 5 years. Now, say you're going to do a restaurant. 80% of restaurants fail in the first 5 years. So You start 10 restaurants, 8 of them are going to fail in that first 5 years. Only 2 of them will succeed based on those statistics. Trucking's even worse. Trucking is somewhere between 85 and 90%. It fluctuates from year to year. So it's a tough business, and you've got to be tough. If let's get some more misconceptions out of the way while we're at this. The trucking company is not obligated to pay you anything. And let me explain what I mean by that. If you work at a grocery store, let's say, they have to pay you at least minimum wage for all the hours you work. Trucking don't. They have to pay your truck, not you. So whatever rate you're getting, say you're getting $1.05 a mile plus fuel surcharge. You're around $1.40, $1.50 a mile. That's not what the trucking company is paying you. That's what the trucking company is paying the truck. The truck has all its expenses, all its needs. You get what's left over after that. Now, if you're a pretty good business person, it can be a substantial amount of money. If you're not a good business person, it could be nothing. That's right, I said it. Doesn't matter if it's Dart Transit or any other company. If you don't manage your expenses well, you will make nothing. Worse than that, you might end up owing the company money. Your truck might, in Thanksgiving puns, your truck might gobble everything up and you might get nothing. And you have to know that going in. That's why I'm always recommending to have a few $1,000s saved up before you start doing this. Because here's the other monkey wrench in the deal. If you have a truck that has some issues, like mine's had the last few weeks, you have to be prepared for that. Now, I'm going to ride it out because it's a great truck. It gave me over a year with absolutely no issues. So these are just a few little bumps in the road that you're going to, or that I'm going to have to live through until the truck's fixed, and then I'll be back in the black again. But so many people try to make this like a company job. You know, at one side of the spectrum, we got people complaining lease purchase is just a glorified company driver. And on the other side of the spectrum, it's, I want my independence. I can do whatever I want. And in all reality, it's probably somewhere in the middle. But the company is not obligated to give you anything. They're obligated to pay the truck what the terms of the contract said. And to this point, I have not had to borrow a penny from Dart Transit. I've been able to self-sustain and keep myself afloat. Now, if this goes on 2 or 3 more weeks, I might have to ask Dart for a loan. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Dart's not obligated to give me anything. They're not a bank. So what they're going to do, should I need that at some point, is they're going to say, all right, what kind of driver is this? How was he prior to this? If I'm a good driver with a good service record that hasn't been a problem child that's always fighting with them, there's a reasonable chance they'll probably help me out. But if I've been in the hole every week and I'm always complaining and always fighting with the company about stupid things that don't matter, then they may not help me. They may not choose to help me, and they're not obligated to. I'm an independent contractor. If the guy that puts a roof on your house came to you and said, I'm having some financial problems, some of my equipment broke down, I'm having trouble roofing your house, can you loan me $1,500, $2,000? Would you loan your roof for that? Or the guy that does your yard? No, because they're independent contractors. You're like, I'm going to pay you what I paid you to roof the house, and your personal bills are your responsibility. And it's the same here. Yes, I've been very successful at Dart Transit, and I guess this is where some of you have got misled. I've been very successful here, but I haven't done it by not working. I've worked hard. I've worked smart, which is even more important. You know, this is another thing, and I've discussed this in a lot of videos, but I guess we need to circle around to it again. a lot of people say, all right, I want to be an owner operator. I want to do percentage, but I want to be home every weekend and I want to run everything south of I-40. Well, you're not going to make any money like that. The way this thing works with any company, I'm not even talking about Dart now, freight lanes, the loads that pay the best are the ones that go to the places nobody wants to go to. It's supply and demand. If you want to figure out freight lanes, think about it for a second. Is it a place that most truck drivers like to go, or is it a place nobody likes to go to? Why do you think the Northeast pays so well? Why do you think New York City pays so well? Because nobody wants to go there. The Northwest, right now, there's snow, there's the mountains, everything. Why do you think it pays so well? Because few drivers want to go up there. Why do you think the stuff south of I-40 pays less as a general rule? Because that's what everybody wants to do, especially in the winter. Being self-employed doesn't necessarily mean that you get to do everything you want to do. You're never going to reach a point in your life where you don't have to answer to somebody for something. And do you think that restaurants, do you think that businesses in general work the hours that they want to work, or that they work the hours that their customers need them to work? You think convenience stores like being open 24 hours a day? No, they do it because there's a market for that. At a certain time of night, they know all the other businesses close and they're the only game in town, so they're open 24 hours. Do you think businesses that are open on Saturdays like being open on Saturdays? Wouldn't they rather be at home with their family? Sure, but they do it because they found that there's a market for their product or service on Saturdays. Last week, I talked to an attorney on the phone about an unrelated issue, and he called me at 5:30 in the evening, after hours. Do you think he enjoyed doing that? No, but during the day he was running his business, and after 5, he was calling his clients or potential clients, things like that, back, making callbacks basically. So if you're going to be successful as an independent contractor or as a business owner or anything like that, you're going to have to do things that you probably don't want to do. You're going to have to go places you probably don't want to go. And if you're making $11,000 a month, let's say, you probably need to be living on $5,000 a month and saving the rest for taxes or for rainy days or breakdowns, things like that. Now, I have a maintenance account that's totally separate from that $11,000. That's after the maintenance account and everything came out. But if you don't have that, you might need to live on $4,000 a month of that $11,000 and put $7,000 back for repairs and things like that. It's going to depend on a lot of things, the age of your truck, things like that. Obviously, the older your truck is, the more you're going to want to put back. But if any of you did not realize this, did not understand that, I hope you understand it now. And if any of my videos contributed to that, to make you think you could stay home all the time, never work, then I apologize for that. I hope that I've cleared some of this up. My email is also in the description below. If you need some more clarification about what I've just said to you, please email me. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But there was another month, I want to say it was September, when I had the 3-week breakdown in Oregon. I only cleared like $6,000 that month, take home. And some of you are saying, oh, well, that's great. Well, it's okay. That's after the hotel expenses and everything come out. But it's not well, actually that one I was at home. So yeah, I took home about $6,000 that month that I broke, the first time I broke down for 3 weeks with transmission issues. But from that, I've got to pay taxes. From that, I've got to put some back for the next breakdown, which happened to be only 3 days. And this one, which is, like I said, now we're over 2 weeks. So you've got to be prepared for those things. And you can't think just because I make $10,000 or $12,000 this month that every month after that's going to be that way. And you need to be living on about half of whatever you take in when it's possible. All right, folks, I didn't want to be Debbie Downer today with all of this, but I felt like we needed to get some of these things cleared up. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next video. I think I'm going to have some super good news for you on Monday morning, but it'll probably be a little late. It probably won't come out at 9 in the morning. I've got to get a couple of things verified, but I think I've got some really good news coming from Dark Transit on Monday. If it is, I'll let you know at that time after I verify it. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.